Hi, everybody. Hi. Come on in. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. How are you? It is good to see everybody. Um, just give me a thumbs up, a like. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know that you can hear me. Say hello. Let me know how your weather is. Oh, you're going to hear a little bit of horns here in New York City. It's a little chilly here today. But anyway, let's get settled in. Let me just see how everybody's doing. Hang on a second. Good. So let me know how you are. I'm just checking tech. I am a one-man band here, and we will get right to two things for you. Something that actually came up in one of my Facebook groups. I think it was eBay Selling Basics to help somebody with a shipping situation. I also had a private client with a similar situation, so I want to go over it with you because it can develop into something very serious, and I don't want you to get in trouble. And the other thing is a thing in Seller Hub I want you to be aware of. So hang on just a second. Let me just make sure everybody's here. And we will get right to it. Hang on a second. Page. Sorry about this, you guys. It's like tech stuff. Yay. Okay, good. Everybody's here. Yay. Oh, good. Hi, PJ. How are you? I see Joan. Yay. Josh, PJ, GB, Michigan. Yay, thank you, Michigan. Columbus, Ohio. Hi, Lindy. Hi, Bev, Massachusetts. Good. So right now we've got Midwest, we've got East Coast. We'll see. We got Oregon. Okay, good. I want to make sure our West Coast got it. And every now and then I get international too. So come on in, everybody. How are you? So this is what I wanted to bring up. And this actually came up with a smaller seller, but it's also come up with a very large seller of mine. And it has to do with shipping. And it is something that can get you in trouble. If you don't know this, you definitely want to check in your seller dashboard, and you want to make sure that you are above standard or top rated. And if you start to get warnings, pay attention to it. It is very serious. Do not fluff it off. If you don't have an eBay store, hop into my group for non-store sellers, eBay Selling Basics, nothing but selling basics. And if you do have a store, hop into my group, eBay Stores, nothing but eBay stores. And this is the situation that's come up in a different form for two sellers recently. And I've seen it before. It's just, it really popped in my head. One is about shipping time. Okay. Now, one seller does not have a store and they're going on vacation. Now, with a store, you have a vacation setting. I'm not going to get into that. Just Google it, eBay store vacation setting, and you can see what I'm talking about. You can put your store on vacation. Without a store, you do not have that capability. Now, one thing you can do if you don't have a store is consider doing a starter store, because you can do them for as little as $7.95 a month. And you could literally just opt into a starter store if you're going to be away on a vacation and you don't want to deal with various things. And just do a starter store for a month. You don't need to do a yearly commitment. That way you can put your store on vacation. Vacation setting has two modes, one where your items are available for sale, one where it's not. And you can do it that way. If you don't want to do that, you don't want to get a starter store, you don't want to deal with vacation settings, one is either end all your listings, and then you're going to relist them when you get back. The other thing you can do is extend your handling time. Now, if I'm just going away for a long weekend, and I do this, I leave on Friday and I come back Sunday night or even Monday morning. If something sells on Friday, you don't need to ship it until Monday if you have a one business day handling time, which is what I have. So Saturday does not count to eBay as a business day. So if something sells on Friday, it doesn't have to ship until Monday. So I got to make sure that I'm home in time, or somebody who's doing my shipping, so that the mail goes out on Monday if you have a one business day handling time. But let's say I'm not getting back until Tuesday, and I typically have a one business day handling. You can edit your listings, and you can do this with or without a store and extend your handling time. And you can do this on an auction or on fixed price. Now, if the auction is in its last 24 hours, you cannot change the handling time. So you need to anticipate this and not be doing this last minute. But you can change your handling time on fixed priced or auction. And if you're going away for a long weekend or even 4 or 5 days, that's a great way to handle it. Do not leave your handling time. This is one person was thinking of doing this. Don't leave your handling time one day and then just message your buyers you're going to be shipping it 4 or 5 days later. I mean, you can do that. You certainly want to communicate with your buyers, but you want to change the handling time, because if you don't, every item that sells with that 1 business day handling that you're then shipping 3 or 4 days late or 5 days late counts against you. It's a ding, because you did not meet your commitment of the 1 business day. And this is what comes up actually in a couple of different forms. So I've got a very large seller because, and this happens for big sellers, they have warehouse fulfillment systems. They're not always fulfilling their orders themselves. They may have a warehouse doing it. This will also come up for drop shippers often, where you have a drop ship, a legitimate drop ship relationship with a company. You receive the orders, you then order the item from the company and they're shipping it. Very often they cannot fulfill within 1 business day. It is far better, and I've run this by senior staff and been told, yes, it is correct. You are far better to say you have a 2 business day handling or a 3 business day handling, either because you're drop shipping or you're doing warehouse fulfillment, or just because of your lifestyle. When I first started selling on eBay, if you don't know my story, I was taking care of my mom who was quite ill. I was at the hospital a lot. I was at doctor's appointments a lot. And you know this, sometimes you're going to get a call at 1 or 2 in the morning. I have to go running out. I'm not necessarily going to get my mail out that morning because I might be at the hospital or be at the doctor late, and I might not be able to get home, get my items packed, and get them in the mail within 1 business day. And if you have a situation like that, or because of a work situation, you are far off to have a 2 business day handling or a 3 business day handling and ship within that, so you maintain above standard status. Okay. You can also be top rated. You won't get your top rated plus discount without a 1 business day handling, but you can achieve top rated status, because what they're looking for is that you ship within your stated handling time. You have a certain amount of sales on eBay, and good customer service. Top rated plus, which is the discount that top rated sellers get, that's a different criteria that you do need to ship within the 1 business day. But you do not want to fall below standard because of late shipping. And again, if you have a situation, if you're going on a vacation, if you have a lifestyle situation that's come up, a job change, anything, where all of a sudden it is virtually impossible for you to be sure that you're going to ship things in 1 business day, change your handling time. Yeah, you might lose a few sales because there are people that are going to be looking for, it's got to go out today. But it's far better in the overall that you ship within your stated handling time. It first of all goes to criteria for you for your above standard and top rated. And the eBay algorithms note whether you are an on-time shipper or not. So it is a factor in best match. So you do want to make sure you stay on top of that. Okay. And this is something that happens. Don't think it's just you. It happens for smaller sellers, and by smaller, I mean under 2 million. Okay, which is a lot of us. For smaller sellers, because of different lifestyle situations that we're in. Then it happens for my larger sellers because of their fulfillment. They might be fulfilling with FBA for their eBay orders. And this is, they are FBA sellers. Their inventory is with Amazon, and they use that. It's called multi-channel fulfillment. They're using that to fulfill their eBay orders, their Walmart orders. It's completely legitimate. Then you have people that have drop ship relationships, again, completely legitimate. And that is just not getting the item out within the 1 business day. So always, I'm telling you, I've gotten into trouble on shipping, but not because of late shipping, the scanning. That's a whole nother, I will do a YouTube on that because it was quite an ordeal with my post office. Really watch your seller hub, watch your data, because that's an easy fix. Just change the handling time. Again, if you're a top rated seller, you will not be getting that yourself above standard or top rated, depending on your criteria, than to fall below standard. I have worked with sellers. I mean, when you fall below standard, thankfully not often, it is hard to get back up. So that's why I don't want you guys getting in trouble with that. Now, the reason I wanted to stream was because this has been coming up too, is Seller Hub. So in case you don't know, and let me just share on this, part of the early seller update, and this is April 16th, 2019. So part of the early seller update, hang on a second, there we go, was that the shorter term listings, now everything is good to cancel. No more 7-day fixed day, fixed price. God, I can't talk anymore. No more 7-day fixed price, no more 10-day, no more 30-day. Everything is good to cancel. And in case you're not aware of that, let me just show this to you. Oh, there we got my screen. This is the early seller update. So if you didn't see this, and all you got to do, this is on eBay, is as of mid-March, everything automatically goes to good to canceled. And what a lot of sellers were saying was this was a challenge because they were using the shorter duration, the 7-day, the 10-day, the 30-day for inventory, to tweak their listings. Basically, they used it for inventory, or they used it to keep their listings fresh. They felt that it helped them in search. And now that everything was going good till canceled, sellers were frustrated because everything was going good till canceled. This is going to hurt them. Oh, my nose is so itchy. Sorry about that. It was going to be hard for them to keep track of their inventory. And they also wanted to be reminded, and the 30-day duration reminded them to refresh their listings, to go in and really look at the title, look at their pictures, look at their description. So in case you didn't know, eBay's been listening, and they have a solution to help people. And it's in your Seller Hub. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. So hang on a second, let me pull it up. So when you log into Seller Hub, oh, and it's in Seller Hub. And then what was happening is they created this solution, the Seller Hub team. But then a lot of sellers were saying, well, I'm in my Seller Hub, but I don't see it, which is you are not now able to see your start date and the end date, that 30-day, right in Seller Hub, so that if you want to, for whatever reason, end your listing before 30 days, or if you want to know how long your listing's been up because it reminds you to refresh it, you do have that capability now in Seller Hub. But you may not see it because you haven't clicked certain things that you need to in the Customize tab. So this is what I want to show you. So if you are in your Seller Hub and you are in active listings, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so active listings, up here, create listings, you see all this. And then over here in very small writing, you're going to see the word customize. Okay, pay attention to that. If you click customize, there is the ability to click start date, end date. And hang on a second, where is it? There we go. Sorry about that. So when you click customize, this is what you're going to see. Customize active view. By the way, if you don't have a custom label field, this is why. Okay, so click custom label field, click format. You want to know whether it's auction or good till canceled, available quantity in case you have multi-quantity. You have the ability to click whatever you want. This is what's important. If you are not seeing the start date and the end date in your Seller Hub, it's because you have not clicked the Customize tab and you have not added it. So do that, and then you'll see it. It'll pop right up. Also, just to let you know, you can change the order of your columns, how the order that they appear for you in your active listings with this. So Seller Hub is letting you customize quite a bit. So check off what you want and then order them. And what I did, hang on a second, because I printed it out. This is what I have checked. This, and again, check what works for you, take a look at it, see if you like it or not. I have custom label checked. I use custom label field. I put where my item is. I do have item ID number because I want to know that. Format, available quantities, because I do have some multi-quantity. I do want to know views. I do want to know watchers. I do want to know questions and bids. I do have current price and I have start date. I did not have end date, and now I have clicked end date, but that's what I have clicked. When you do that, this is what you're going to see. You will see when your listing started and when it ended, what the 30-day flip is. So this way, if you want to end, it lets you know how many days are left. You are able to do that. Again, you're not going to see it unless you've clicked the customize button and you've clicked start date and end date. It will let you know how long it's been up. And now look at this too. It's the start date for when you started your listing. It is not the start date for every 30 days. So it's not like a counter where it's going to redo itself every 30 days. It will let you know how many years, months, and days the listing has been up. Obviously, if I'm a long tail seller, I sell more collectibles. I just sold a mug. I just sold a mug, a Broadway musical mug that it's been up for well over 2 years. And I knew it would take a while to sell because it's not something that's going to go flying out the door. It's not an Apple Watch. Okay, so this lets you know how long it's been up. I did recently do a major revamp on the listing, so I was like, yay! You know, and by revamping, I mean I really looked at the keywords on the title. I looked at the pictures. The pictures were in good shape. I really went over the item specifics. I looked at ended mugs for Broadway musicals just to see if there were other keywords there that I needed to put in that I had forgotten. I mean, I really did an overhaul, and that was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So it's like, yay. So start date lets you know how many years, months, and days something's been up, because sometimes you forget how long something's been up, and the end date. And also to let you know is you can make these columns skinnier and longer. So if you look at your seller hub and the columns are too wide, so it's just too wide, you can shorten them up. Because in this customize, just to show you, this is a lot of fields. So you might need to skinny up your columns in order for them all to fit. And that is now in your seller hub. So take a look at that, okay? So first thing is really watch your shipping. And if you're somebody where shipping's not an issue, you always get it out within the 1 business day, or you might have 2 business days and that's what works for you, great. But if you do have a vacation coming up, or you know you're going to away for a long weekend, or you've got a family member with a medical situation, so you know there's a chance your schedule is going to be, you know, unstable, consider changing your handling time if you don't have a store. And even with a store, you may want to change your handling time. And if you're going on vacation, you know, consider doing a starter store. And if you have a store already, consider whether you want to block your listings or if you want to keep them the way they are. And if you keep them the way they are, if you're going away for more than, you're going to need to change your handling time. So just because the store's on vacation, if you still have 1 business day handling time and you're leaving your items for sale, you're going to need to bulk edit and change your handling time. That's one thing we've all been dreaming about that have stores. It's not automatic. So if I put my store on vacation for 10 days and I have 1 business day handling, it still has 1 business day handling if I leave my items listed to buy. So I need to go in and change the handling time, okay? For Seller Hub, because of this change that has happened with the early seller update where everybody now has good till cancel listings, there's no longer short duration for fixed price. You do have short duration for auction. You can run 5-day auctions, 7-day auctions, 10-day auctions. That has not been impacted at all. The good till cancel mandate is on fixed price. At least now with this change in Seller Hub, thank you Seller Hub team. Again, click the customize button, use the start date, use the end date, so you know how long your listings are up. You know, and regardless of I've always used good till canceled. I've used it for years, but I like that. I didn't know that was there. I mean, they just start date, excuse me. So that's great to have that there because now I have the counter. Now I can see how long it is because I do forget. I go, is that up for 6 months? So that is there, but you have to click customize and then you have to click start date and you have to click end date. And the end date, the reason that's there is it lets you know when that 30-day cycle is there. So I believe the start date was always there. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was the end date. Is that way you can track If you want to end it, so you want to do 5-day, you want to do 7-day, you want to end it at 30 days for whatever reason, and take a look at it, refresh it, and then relist it. Just realize that when you do that, when you end a listing, you're breaking all your social media. It can take Google 30 days to pick up your listings. And that's why the mandate for the good till canceled now, it actually helps you in Google search, because again, it can take up to 30 days for Google to find you. And Google favors items that are like a steady listing that it can constantly send shoppers to. So that's why something that's only up for 5 days and stops, 7 days and stops, actually hurts you in Google. And definitely with social media, because if you're using it for something like Pinterest and you click on it, you're sending people to eBay, but if your item's no longer there, eBay will take that shopper, and if that listing is no longer there, they will send them to a similar item that somebody else is selling. So that pin that you've created is sending people to eBay, but it's not sending them to your item. And there is a way to create pins to send them to your items. And if you look on my YouTube channel, I've got that to help you. So shipping, really keep an eye on your handling time and pick a handling time that you can meet. It is better to have a slightly longer handling time and meet it to keep yourself above standard. You do not want to fall below standard. If you want to be able to track how long your listing is on eBay, and if you want to know, if you want to be able to stop your listings like under 30 days, because that's what works for you, for your inventory system and for your listings, you do have the ability to know how long your listing's up, but use the customize and then click start date and end date. Let me just see how everybody's doing. For explaining the shipping handling time. Josh, you're welcome, because it is a little confusing. I mean, obviously, and this makes total sense. Obviously, eBay is going to push same in 1 day handling. I was just in a workshop and they were pushing it. And I get it. And I do 1 business day handling. But let me tell you, when my mother was sick, I don't know that I would have been able to do 1 business day handling most days of the week. I just don't think it would have been feasible. And I would have ended up in trouble as a seller. So for me, in that period of my life, I would have been far better served. And I say this to sellers, you are far better served to pick a time period that you know you can meet. But realize that when you pick 2 days, you're pretty much okay, unless somebody's really in a super rush, because realize that if you're not doing 1 business day handling, you're not going to fall into guaranteed delivery, which is a whole nother thing to talk about. But when people search and they filter, there's filters on eBay, they can filter, I want to get it in 1 day, I want to get this item in 2 days, 3 days. When you have a handling time of 2 days or 3 days, it's extremely unlikely you're going to show up in any of those filters. So those sales I would lose. But it is better to lose 1 or 2 sales than to fall below standard, because it really hurts you in search and it can jeopardize your account. And I don't want anybody's accounts getting jeopardized. Okay. So see how we're doing. Good info. Kara, you are so welcome. And Kara makes beautiful baby blankets. So this can be an issue for our custom sellers. You know, if you're customizing something, or if you're making something, you know, and you're can't talk anymore. You know, you're customizing, you're adding the person's initials, you're doing something very special for them. That can extend your handling time. So just, you need to do what's best for you and your business, but do realize that there are impacts to the choices that you make. But again, in the long run, as far as seller standing, which is really important in search, is you want to make sure you stay above standard or top rated. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Kathy, we aren't seeing the Seller Hub page. Oh, you didn't see it? It wasn't showing? Oh, hang on a second, you guys. Let me put it back up. I thought for sure I was showing it, so hang on a second. Let's do this. Now you're not seeing this, so hang on a second. Let me just pull this up. Okay, hang on. Let me just make sure, you guys, because I'm showing my screen. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that is showing. Okay, good. So let me just show this again quickly. When you go into active listings, my eBay selling active listings, this is what shows. This is your Seller Hub. Bottom right, I put green around it. It says customize. you've got to click customize. When you click customize, I'm going to have to fast forward. This is what you will see. Customize active view. If you want to see the start and the end date for your listings, you must click start date, end date. If you go into customize and these are not clicked, you will not see this column in your seller hub. So you need to do that. And then while we're here, there's a lot of other wonderful things you can select. Custom label field, one of my favorites, okay? So just when you're here, take a look at everything. And if you're not sure what these are, click them all, right? You're gonna get a lot of columns, click them all and see what you need. You can even click them all and leave it for a few days and see if you need it. Again, what I have is custom label, item ID, format, available quantity. I have all of these clicked. I didn't have end date clicked. Now I have it clicked. But in addition to everything clicked here, I did have item ID. I find that helpful. And again, on the right-hand side, you can arrange them. So you can arrange the order, similar to Seller Hub, where you can drag and drop your boxes, okay? And that is in Seller Hub active listings. And then click, let me just show you again, because you must click customize. You have to click this, it's not automatic, and then you pick. Okay, I'm sorry if that wasn't clear from the top, but those are my tips for you. And it's really, really helpful. It is really good to keep an eye on how long a listing's up, because if it's on forever and ever and ever, you do want to go in and clean it up as much as you can. You know, really check your keywords, check your prices, keep it relevant, keep it fresh, so that you're searching well. Okay, so watch your shipping time and know that you can edit it, and it's totally okay to edit it, but there are consequences. But you have far worse consequences if you fall below standard. And with the customize button, you can do start and end date. Okay, good, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye.